Hello, Empowerment Studio. Hi, beautiful friends. Kinzie Elizabeth here. I'm so happy. Those of you who have joined us live are here with me right now. I'm so grateful for your connection and your energy. But then for those of you who are watching the replay, hello also to you and welcome. I hope that you can feel how much I am like talking to you folks as well. I hope that you can, whether you are here live with us right now or if you are catching the replay, like really honor this time. So, I'm going to do this too. Put your phone on do not disturb, right? If you are able to do that, that's what I have clients do during their photo shoots as well. If it is an option to just allow the outside world to be outside. It's a gift. And in addition to that, maybe grab a nice something to drink, glass of tea, or refill your water. I've got my handy dandy actually garage sale hospital jug. This is not even the one from when I gave birth years ago. Got another one because I loved it so much. But anyway, grab yourself something nourishing and indulgent, and let's get started. So here's how this is going to go. I have a lot that I want to talk about with you all. This is a really amazing workshop. I'm really proud of it. I've worked very hard to with my team and with all of you to pull together, kind of this combination of Empowerment Studio concepts mixed with the world we're in right now. 2025 is a very specific vibe. We'll say more about that soon, but I don't even really have to tell you, there's a lot going on, right? And so, so this workshop is very of the moment. This is very like a right now sort of vibe. And I just want to bring everything that we've been working on and talking about and thinking about to you all. Now, I will say, this is Grow, the Empowerment Studio workshop. We are talking about balancing self-care, joy, and the weight of the world. And we're going to actually go through a newly coined method called Grow. That's what this workshop is named after as part of this workshop. We're going to be talking a lot about kind of these concepts around self-care and joy and the weight of the world. And then if you feel connected to the work that we are talking about here during this workshop, during this get-together time, if you feel like connected to it, I would love to invite those of you who would like to take our work even deeper into working with us in the Empowerment Studio. And currently, my favorite way to invite you into the Empowerment Studio is through the Empowerment Experience, which is our 6-month group program. There's actually quite a few alumni of last round of the Empowerment Experience, our inaugural round. Here in this live meeting, which is so much fun. And anyway, so we're running our next round of it from April through September of 2025. And I would love to invite anyone who's feeling really connected with what we're talking about here, with the work that we do, with me, with the Empowerment Studio, to consider joining us in this next round. All right, so before we get into all of that, I would like to first just introduce myself. Many of you know me, but some of you are new, and I'm very, very happy you're here. So I am Kinzie. That's me there. That's also me here. I am the founder of the Empowerment Studio, which is at its core, a boudoir photography studio in Kansas City, Missouri. And I have been doing this photography for 12 years now, over 12 years. And we do boudoir in a very specific way. Our intention is to help you see your body in a revolutionary and deeply kind way. But I can't do this alone. Not only am I a team player on a next level, but my neurodivergence would not allow it. Thank goodness for these beautiful humans in the picture with me here. This is Libby, who is helping monitor the chat in here tonight. Oh, actually, I think I see all three of my team in the names popping up here, which makes me so happy. Libby is an incredible kind of right hand to everything I do here in the business. So many of these ideas that I'm presenting to you here tonight are things that she and I have like come up with and finessed and collaborated on. This lovely human here is David. Is he not such a cutie pie? David is our empowerment studio goblin. He actually lives at the studio, and he's the space tender, the vibe creator. And he's also just like a really awesome support for our team. In addition to that, Libby and David actually co-run the empowerment experience with me. So if you come join us in our 6-month program, you will get to hang out with Libby and David just as much as you are hanging out with me. And I remember someone from our last round saying, thank goodness you have your team. They take this to the next level. You all work so beautifully together. And I personally could not agree more. This lovely human is Donnie. He is also a very cutie pie. Oh goodness gracious, what a good group of people. Donnie is a little bit more behind the scenes. He's kind of a little silent tech sort of support guy. He also just shows up in just basically any way that any of us need support. And I am so grateful. So this is my team. This is me. Hi friends, welcome. So why the heck are you here to listen to me about all of this, right? Like, why am I qualified to even be like talking about this concept of like joy and self-care and existing in photos and dealing with the realities, the heaviness of the world right now? Well, here's the thing. I have been flexing this muscle for a really long time. Going back even further from my boudoir photography business, I have always been a connector and an empowerment sort of person. I love seeing people, and I think I really see the beauty in people in a way that our society is not really taught to do. And that's one of my special skills, and that's because of how much I love connecting, because of how I love complimenting people, and I see them at their most true, beautiful self. I have learned how to be a photographer as well. And my first boudoir session was October 2012. And that kicked off something really special. I just love what I do. I've photographed well over 500 at this point. I tried to count 500 as the number I got to like years ago. Over 500 beautiful humans, and they're really unique individual body relationships and stories and journeys. In addition to that, I have guided hundreds of people through the Selfie to Self-Love Empowerment Challenge. We do 5 days of selfies, 5 days of compliments, and it's the wildest thing, but somehow over the course of this very short week, people are having these like really transformative experiences and completely radically shifting how they see themselves, how they see their bodies. Oftentimes through that experience, people are like, oh, I get the power of photography. I get the magic of the empowerment studio. And then folks will come in and do a session with us. And in addition to all of this, we recently put together all of the magic of the empowerment studio over the last 12 years. And we put it into this cute little 6-month container. It is 1 part photography and 1 part community, and all together it's incredible magic. We had 10 incredible humans in our first round, and I am just so grateful. Like, I was talking to someone who was in our first round, and she was like, I didn't really understand exactly what it was we were doing, and until now, and I like kind of understand it now, and now you're explaining it in the way that I understand it. And I was like, can I be honest with you? Neither did I. I was like, I knew that every single component that we were putting together worked individually, and I could see this vision of how it would work as a collective, like what this 6 months could look like. I knew the power of doing photo shoots in the empowerment studio. There's all of these different parts, but I couldn't even possibly have anticipated the magic that was going to happen when you got this 6-month container of space, these epic, incredible photo shoots, and the power of tight-knit, cozy community, right? So all of this together, I feel Like I'm ready to be here with you and share some of the Empowerment Studio magic. And lately, I'm feeling called, like somehow, I don't get it, but like more than ever before, I understand like the power of what we're doing. And I've been feeling this like rally cry from inside of me because everything is so bad out there right now, right? Like our country is burning down, both literally and also metaphorically. And I don't need to get into like the details of it because you all know, but there's so much grief, there's so much strife, there's so much fear happening everywhere right now. And the weight of it is so tangible. And I realized, wait, hang on, this is something that I know what to do. I know how to play my part in it, right? Like, what's my strength? What can I offer right now? And I know how to support the creation of joy. I know how to create individuals feeling their best selves so that we are ready to take on whatever comes our way. And so I'm ready, and this is what I'm doing. I'm feeling called. I'm ready to share what I can do with all of you. If this is resonating with you, I would love for you to just drop like an emoji in the chat. Let me know what this is, if this is like feeling aligned to you, because I feel it so deeply, and I'm just so grateful to share it with all of you. Now, here's the deal. This photo that I picked in the background is so amazing that I just made it a slide all on its own so you could enjoy it after. Because I didn't want it to just be a background photo. This client here, she actually said to me after this moment, she said, I felt like I was bathed in gold and like I was made of gold. I remember this moment. This client had like such a huge radical transformation. And this is a feeling we all deserve to tap into. Like, you deserve to feel made of gold because you are made of gold. I see it, and I would love to show it to you. And the cool thing is, when we tap into it in the Empowerment Studio, in fact, we just talked about this in my session today. It's like when you can tap into this feeling of feeling so good, of feeling connected, of feeling like present within yourself in the Empowerment Studio, where it's easier to do, right? Because there's not all of these other cajillion things you're trying to do and be all at once. When you can do it here, it makes it more accessible for you to do it elsewhere. And that's really important. So, okay, here's my question for you. And I would love to hear in the chat, what is resonating with you? What's, what is being, I want to see if you're like, whoa, hang on, that's me. Have you ever said any of these things? Oh, I'll feel better when I lose the weight. Like, I'm going to wait to feel better. I'm going to feel better then once I lose the weight. Or I hate being in photos. Any of you? Confidence is for other people, not for me. Or maybe the twist of that, like the flip side of that is like, wish I could be confident, but like that's something other people have access to, and like I super don't. Or maybe I want to be seen, but being fully seen still feels vulnerable, and I don't know if I can do it. Any of these you? Yes, I've said these. I have definitely had phases of I hate being in photos. Yes, I definitely believed that confidence was for other people, but that wasn't true. Yeah, but we found that together, didn't we? We like tapped into it, and now you know it's true about you. You're capable. Definitely resonating with the I'll feel better when I lose weight, wishing I had the confidence that other people have. My friend, you are in the right place. I'm so glad you're here. And then maybe those aren't you, or maybe they are, and also these, but have you had these thoughts? Joy feels like something I have to earn. Taking care of myself is not my highest priority when the world is burning down. Or have you ever said, I feel guilty for resting when the world is so heavy? Or I feel guilty for resting when my friend is having such a hard time. I feel guilty for resting when trans people are being prosecuted right now. Persecuted, both. Any of these resonate? Yes. As a former dancer, I struggle with no longer looking anything near like I used to. Body change is so complicated. And here's the wild thing. This is what's so wild. And they don't tell you this. Your body changes every day. I don't understand. I have just been like mind blown if I think about how we like hold up this ideal of like a 20-year-old body, right? As like someone in their prime. And it's like, we're going to be that for literally like a smidge part of our lives. And we're going to spend the rest of our lives with these bodies that are older and bigger and softer and, you know, like just they're different, right? And so how come we like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Why that's what, I mean, I get it. It's like, that's what works for marketing, for capitalism, right? But our bodies are different every single day. Maybe we gain weight or we lose weight or gravity, or we have a kid or we have an accident or our body becomes disabled or, right? Like our bodies are constantly changing a teensy bit all the time. So it's baffling to me that, that we're not better taught how to meet with the changes that are happening. All of these thoughts. Joy feels like something I have to earn. Did you record my brain? I don't know, maybe. Like this is so many people here, right? 1 in 3 for sure. The feeling guilty for resting hits hard, especially at this time in the world, right? Oh boy, I got something coming up for all of us on that one. I feel guilty for not having a job and having the opportunities to rest. It's so real. It's all so real. It's like, oh man, we're so hard on our own current experience. And that's a lot of work, right? Like not only are we dealing with the hard things, but we're also feeling bad about how we're dealing with the hard things. Like, whoo-wee, that's a lot of work. And then maybe those resonate, maybe they don't, but maybe also, or instead, some of these resonate with you. I know who I am, and I'm ready to expand into even more. Y'all who have been in the empowerment studio for a long time, a lot of you have had this experience of like, you've actually done some of the work, you've tapped in. I know my worth and I want to explore what's next for me. Tell me if any of these are resonating. I've built confidence. Now I want to deepen my connection with myself. Or maybe it's like I've built confidence, but I'm aware because I understand how this all works that I'm going to need to continue pouring into building that confidence. It's a continuous journey, right? Everything I want is in front of me and I'm ready to take a leap and actually let it come together now. So you have been doing the work. You've got all these pieces and parts. Oh, I got chills seeing you all resonate with these. I literally have like full body chills. I love it so much. You've got all these pieces and parts put together, but like, how the heck are you going to put that all together? How do you do this next part? How do you take this next step? Time to take a leap. Oh, I'm hearing wicked songs in my head now. I'm coming out of a dark place and ready to come back into myself. My friend, I have seen that in you so deeply, and I see your blossoming already beginning. I like feel that energy from you. I know we have only interacted on the internet, but I feel it happening and I'm so excited for you. Ooh, that's exciting. I'm ready to expand into even more. So true. I know that about you. I am ready to expand into more and explore what's next for me and deepen my connection with myself. Let's go. I want to continue to deepen my connection with myself. Oh, y'all, this is so good. This is juicy. Do you see how capable we all are? Do you see how we know ourselves? Do you see what is out there? This is exciting. All right. So if any of those resonated with you, you are in the right place. Okay. Also, wow, gorgeous human. Once again, love our empowerment studio people. I'm always so grateful. I always want to clarify, people whose images are here in the slideshow have given me full explicit permission to share their images. Plenty of clients have come into my studio that not a single person on the internet has even ever seen. And there are some people who have come into my studio that my team has not seen those pictures. We take privacy and consent super seriously here in the Empowerment Studio. So here's the deal. If any of those resonate with you, you're in the right place because the current climate, I'm seeing people get more and more isolated. The systems at play, capitalism thrives when we are isolated, when we have to be independent, when we have to buy every single thing for ourselves, when we have to meet our needs by physically, tangibly, financially purchasing them to make them happen, right? Here's what we got to do. We have to build community. We have to build the village, bring it back, bring back the village. We got to learn how to be our best selves so that we are nourished and supported, so that we can show up for the people around us, so that they are nourished and supported. And hopefully they're doing that work too, so that they can show up for us. And the more we can build a web, right? Instead of it being like a string of connection between us and someone else, instead it's like a string and a string and a string and a string and a string. And all of a sudden something happens that's tough and it's hard out there. But guess what? We've built a whole web. We have woven our fibers together in a way that makes us feel so supported and nourished that we can handle it, right? So I want to take a moment first before we do anything else. I want to take a moment to just check in. We're going to take some deep breaths, and I'm actually going to guide us through a little flow pose. This is how I like to start every session at the Empowerment Studio. And my client today actually experienced this. I usually have my clients lying down. This is a perfect example of like a photo that I'll take during flow pose, right? But today we started standing, and I was like, we're still starting with a flow pose, right? Because as I mentioned, our bodies are a little bit different every day. And I like to say, hey, let's use this as a moment to just check in with ourselves. What body did you bring here with you today? So if you are able, just make yourself like, I don't know, 5% more comfortable. Even like 50% is cool. But like if what you can do right now is you can soften your jaw, or you can drop your shoulders, or maybe you can even just like soften your forehead. That felt good. Oof. And then place one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly right here. Yeah. And if you feel comfortable, close your eyes. You don't have to be lying down, but just settle in. And let's take a breath. First, let's exhale all of our air. Then inhale together. And exhale. Inhale again. Let's exhale with sound. And then go ahead and keep breathing, please. As you're breathing, go ahead and you can peek at me at the screen if you need to, but just start to flow your hands on your body. Feel your body right here with your palms. And keep breathing. And as you are continuing to flow, just do a little check-in with yourself. What body did I bring here today? What does this body feel like? What do I feel like underneath my hands? Maybe you put your hand on your cheek or on your neck. And it's nice because it's like you get to feel what your body feels like, but you also get to give yourself touch, which is such a gift. Can I soften a little bit more? All right, and then let's start to soften and release. Take another big deep breath in. And let's sigh it out, but also wiggle a little. Oh, friends, I needed that. Did you need that? Let me know if in the comments if that was exactly the medicine for you in this exact moment. I see lots of hearts floating across the screen. Yeah. Very needed. I also want to just acknowledge this other comment that came in. I've literally been, and this is from a former empowerment experience member who's been through a lot physically. And she said, I've literally been getting stronger the last 2 weeks. And it's life-changing to be in less pain. I'm so happy for you, friend. That makes me really, really happy. Oh, yep, I needed that. My hands felt warm on my face, which I needed after working through a migraine today. Very needed today. Lots of tears. Thank you. To the specific person who commented that, I know you can't even stay for this entire call, so that makes me extra, extra, extra glad that you joined us tonight, if for no other reason than that breath. Okay, now that we found some stillness, let's check in with our brains too. Okay, that's our body. How are your brains? How are you taking care of yourself right now? If you want to, you can screenshot this page. This might be helpful for you to come back to. This is one of the tools that I want to send you home with. You've got flow pose now. You can do this at any time. Close your eyes, breathe, hands on your body. And then you can check in with these questions. How are you taking care of yourself right now? Are you doing anything to do that? Are you moving your body? Or are you making sure you're drinking water? Or are you making sure you're staying in touch with a friend or playing a game that's really fun? Are you giving yourself the sleep that your body needs? Like, are there ways that you are taking care of yourself? Do you feel guilty about resting or experiencing joy? You can drop a word or an emoji in the chat. You can either share something if you'd like to share or just an emoji in the chat to let us know that you are resonating. And what's pulling at you? Are you feeling stressed? Are you feeling grief? Are you feeling burnt out? And this is also a positive check-in, right? We can check in about joy. Are you feeling connection? Are you feeling like you're taking up some space? I hope all of you are feeling a little bit like you're taking up some space right now. And reminder, there are no right or wrong answers here. This is awareness. Okay. Are you prioritizing something nourishing? Are you just getting through your day? How are you, my friends? Taking care of myself? No comment. I absolutely feel guilty about resting. What's pulling at me? Stress, burnout, all those types of emotions. Yeah. Well, okay. So listen, it's like so heavy out there. And so, okay. So this next little chunk here, this may not be applicable to everyone here. My best guess is it probably actually will be, but it may not be. And if it's not, then like, yeah, heck yeah, go. This is awesome for you. But I think a lot of people are experiencing a lot of heaviness right now. And there's a really complicated balance between feeling joy and feeling guilt for feeling joy. And so if this applies to you all, I want you to tune in. And if it doesn't, then still tune in, because you might be able to tuck this in your pocket to help, have this conversation with someone else and guide them through it as well. So if you ever felt guilty for taking care of yourself, ask, who does that guilt serve? Is it working for you? like you feeling guilty about taking care of yourself, is that helping? Like that's just, and that's not, again, not a judgment thing, but it can help you like, oh, hang on. It's actually not doing anyone any good. Here's the deal. The royal, they want to think they're royal. The systems at play, right? Though they want you to feel guilty. They want you to feel small, because if you're feeling guilty, if you're feeling small, then you won't take action. Then you'll be feeling bad about yourself and you won't do the things that will add joy to the world. You won't do the things that can change the world, that can protect the people around you. Because here's the thing, taking care of yourself is an act of power. I'm going to say that again. Taking care of yourself is an act of power. So I'm curious, I would love to hear in the comments, what shifts for you when you see self-care as resistance? Does anything change? Does that like, whoo, what does that do? Tons of stress, but my joy is getting an acceptance letter of becoming permanently employed. Yeah. I'm celebrating you. Yeah, we got complicated brains. I'm being gentle about taking in news when I can handle it. That is super powerful. That self-care can be resistance. Yeah. I had a conversation with myself in the mirror today and told myself I was proud of myself. I was listening to Mel Robbins, who's all about like the 5-second rule, but then more recently she wrote the book Let Them. Loving her podcast lately. And one thing she suggested as part of a morning routine is going up to the mirror and like high-fiving yourself. She's like, it's going to feel really dorky, but I recommend it. And I've done it a couple of times and it's pretty cute. Started journaling to track happy moments each day. That's good. You know, what you track grows, right? What you notice grows. So I love that for you. And I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back for 1 second, maybe. Let's see. Will it let me? There we go. I really want everyone to hear this, right? I want everyone to be listening to this next part around like what we need to do to support ourselves for this current time, especially. But here's the deal. There's like 2 different groups of people that I'm thinking about. There's one group of people that is being, and that's like a lot of us, but some to greater degrees, like trans folks, especially, or disabled people, like who are being targeted, right? Y'all have to take care of yourselves because we want to keep you here. Because we want you here so that we can have our joy collectively together, so that we can build community. For folks who are not just trying to survive, I want y'all to take care of yourselves so that you can fight, so that you can be part of the resistance, right? Both of these are so important. So here's the deal. If we know the systems aren't built for us to thrive, then we have to build thriving for ourselves. And so what does that actually look like? That's noticing when the guilt is creeping in, questioning it instead of accepting it as truth, grounding yourself in your body, flow pose, deep breaths, community collective check-ins, right? Listening to what you actually need, not what you've been told you should need. Letting go of the shame around how you are feeling so that you can actually do something within it, about it, for it. So then the question becomes, how do we take charge of our own joy and care and connection? Okay, reclaiming pleasure and joy, not just as a luxury, but as something you deserve. Listen, joy and pleasure are not a luxury. They are something that you deserve. Practicing taking up space, whether that's existing in photos, using your voice, not apologizing for being here, physically taking up space, asking for a seatbelt extender, asking for someone to move so that you can get through, surrounding yourself with people who remind you of your worth and reflect your power back to you. This is another huge one. Community is what's up in these times. This is huge. This is important. Find your people, choose them, allow them to choose you. Okay, so related to all of this, this is something that we have been developing in the Empowerment Studio for quite a while, and it's called the GROW method. Hence the title of our workshop. This applies to all of us, whether we are still fighting with the concept of deserving nourishment and care, GROW will work for you. Or if you've been doing the work for a while and you've already made some progress, but you want to take it further, this is for all of us. We can all grow. I'm so excited. I don't think I realized like up until literally just now, like how significant this feels to be sharing this with all of you. So here's the GROW method, and this is what we are doing in the empowerment experience. We are connecting and doing all of this as a collective, right? The GROW method, this is how transformation happens. First, you have to get grounded in your body, connect with your body in the moment. We're going to dig deeper into each of these in a moment. So this is a quick little overview. Then you want to revel, honor your joy, and learn to feel good, guilt-free. Own, claim your space, and embrace your power. That feels fun. If you want to raise your arms with me right now, it kind of feels good to just own in that moment. And then witness. Notice your growth and resilience. And this is a cycle. You continue doing this work. You connect with your body, you honor your joy, you claim your space, and then you notice it. And this, doing it over and over and over again, is how transformation happens. Okay, so let's talk about each one. G for ground. Ground yourself in your body in the moment. This is about connecting with who you are. This is about being open to understanding yourself and your identity, listening to what your body needs in peaceful moments, but also amidst chaos. Joy and grief can and must coexist. Okay, so get grounded, get connected. This is something we do in every Empowerment Studio photo shoot. We spend a lot of time, especially early in the session, we even just sit and talk for a while before we start our photo shoots, just being present, getting connected, allowing you to settle into this space, whether you realize that's what's happening or not, right? Like, I give you time through your hair and makeup time, through picking out your outfits, through talking about your body stuff and mobility issues and everything. It's all part of being in the space and getting grounded, because we can't do any of the rest of this work until we are present. And then we've got a Revel. Oh my God, this picture of Brandy just makes me so happy every single time I see it. We got a Revel. Okay, so this is another thing that we do in the Empowerment Studio, both in the empowerment experience. Overall, we'll be talking more about how all of this connects to the empowerment experience as well. But in the photo shoots, you get to feel joy in your body. You get to take up space and laugh and be in clothing that's maybe a little bit more like revealing or vulnerable than you're used to wearing. And then you get to like feel joy within that, and you get to honor it. Something I am so good at doing is reminding you, hey, look how good you feel right now, or how is your body feeling at this moment, or what are you really connecting with, right? And so not only are we feeling deep joy, but we are also owning it. We are taking up that space. Once we've been feeling that joy for a while, we get to exist in these photos, right? We get to see the proof of it. And that's where we get to start to own this part of our story. We're claiming the space, we're embracing our power, we're recognizing our worthiness. We're getting to be seen and heard. And then W for witness. This part is so important. It's not even just, but it is also about witnessing yourself, witnessing your own growth, your own transformation, noticing it, having someone like me there to like help you notice it. You get to take in the evidence of your resilience, your joy, and this journey. And it serves you, right? It's an anchor that you can always tap back into. But the witnessing also happens from being seen, right? From blossoming and growing, and you get to feel seen in this beautiful growth that is happening. And that's a really cool thing. And then once we've done a step of that, then we can do it again. And then we can do it again. And then we can do it again, and it builds on itself and it builds on each other, right? And all of this compounds into becoming something that you are feeling stronger and steadier in yourself. Does this resonate with all of you? What do you think about this concept of grow? You like it? Oh, I'm seeing some good resonance. Yes, yes, yes. That ground, revel, own, and witness. Ooh, so many. Okay, this is so cool. I love this so much. That's awesome. I'm glad it's resonating with you. It makes me want to do more self-care, hard because you like the outdoors, but it's the tundra here. So that's part of the community support. And like in the empowerment experience, that's something that you could bring to us in the empowerment circles is like, I want to take better care of myself, but my main method is not available to me. How can I support myself in this? Right. And we can like explore that together. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, I love it. This is landing. That makes me feel so excited. I love what we're doing. Now, here's what's really cool. So this is Frankie, who was in our first round of the empowerment experience. And I'm so happy they let me share their photos, which I was like, oh no, now which one am I going to choose to go with this quote, right? But Frankie went through the empowerment experience with us. They got to experience 6 months of growing. Growing. That's it. See the acronym. It works perfectly. They got to go through this experience of grounding and reveling and owning and witnessing over and over and over again. And this is something that they shared coming out of their experience. I said, like, you know, what has this experience been like for you? And they said, gosh, I've shared a lot of personal wins, dreams, and secrets with this group. I remember they were so vulnerable. And I think that that really contributed to them having this huge growth. I have a really hard time making myself visible. And I feel like I was able to take up so much more space. I got a new job, started to explore hobbies again, made a lot more time and space for myself to just exist. I said yes more. Oh, that's so cool. Frankie. We love our Frankie. Libby, who is on the empowerment team and is part of working in the empowerment experience, but she's also been a twice over client at this point. I photographed Libby a bunch of times now. And Libby, really, I just love this quote so much, Libby. Thank you for sharing it so that I can share it here. Libby said, working with Kinzie specifically is very special to me. They are so intuitive and can tell when I'm feeling present in my body and when I'm a little more in my head. And they have a way of coaching me back into that in my body space, which is what it's all about. And now in my everyday life, I am able to do that for myself in a way that I wasn't able to do before. The Empowerment Studio experience continues to pay off in my day-to-day life. So that's what I'm talking about with the GROW method, right? You go through all of this work and you do it in a container in the Empowerment Studio, in the Empowerment experience, and you get stronger at it and you practice it, and then you get to take it into your day-to-day life. And here's the deal. I want to be super, super clear. This is not me saying, well, here's the GROW method, and the only way you can do these things is if you come work in the Empowerment Studio. That's not how, right? Like, first of all, that's just not my belief system. I know that you are capable of doing this work. I believe in you. Okay, but here's the deal. This is what the work looks like. You've got to let go of the shame around how you're feeling so you can actually do the work. It's funny because the shame is like such an additional layer that we put on top of the stuff that's feeling hard. We're like, oh, I'm feeling bad about this, and I feel bad that I'm feeling bad about it, right? It's kind of like my clients will, like, I tell them before they see their photos for the first time, I'm like, I'm just going to offer to you that there's no wrong way to react to how you see yourself in your pictures, right? Sometimes our first reactions to seeing ourselves in pictures, because we are so trained that muscle is strong, is to go, whoa, or to like do the body scan and pick yourself apart, right? And that's kind of normal, right? We work on shifting that, but it's okay. But people will see a picture of themselves sometimes and be like, oh no, my belly. And then they'll be like, oh no, there I go again, always picking myself apart. And it's like, well, wow, we're really doing a whole lot of work here. So first you have to train yourself to let go of the shame around how you're feeling so that then you can start to chip away at this and do the GROW work over and over and over again. But that's why it takes a longer time when you're doing it on your own, right? Because you are trying to not only let go of the shame, which is hard to do. Brene Brown talks about shame cannot exist with visibility, or like when it's shared. Sharing it, connecting with people around it can help dispel it. It doesn't seem so scary once you are in community about it. So you've got to let go of the shame, and then you've got to do this work over and over and over again of getting grounded in your body, and of finding your joy and tapping into it and really stepping into your power in that, and then to like notice it, to consciously notice it. This is why it takes a long time, because it's big, big work to be doing it on your own. You can do it. It's just got to be a really intentional practice. I think that you can do it a whole lot faster with support. So here's the deal. I'm thinking about like, okay, you're climbing a mountain, right? You can climb a mountain on your own. I know that you could do it, right? I hope so, probably. Okay. But it would take a lot of work and a lot of research and a lot of skill and a lot of carrying a whole bunch of stuff on your own back. Or you can do it with a guide, right? You can have someone who's like, hey, here's where you're going to want to turn. And, oh, this is the best equipment to bring with you. And, oh, hey, we're coming up on this area. Do you need to take a rest, right? The guide makes it easier. The guide makes it a more direct journey. You're going to get there quicker. What if you have a guide and also a community around you to do this same work? Well, then not only is there someone guiding your path there and getting you there quicker, but, oh no, I've run out of water. I've got some extra for you, right? Like, and then you're laughing along the way. And this journey up the mountain just goes so much quicker and so much more joyfully. And you're going to get there for sure, right? And the thing about doing the mountain climb on your own is it's going to sometimes take you some starts and some, okay, I'm going to get regrouped here. I'm going to try it again. So my question for you all is, what if we did it on easier mode? What if we didn't do the absolute hardest version of growing that we had to do? What if we could make it fun? What if we could make it easy? What if we didn't have to do things the hardest possible way? And also, there's a part of it that you can't do on your own, right? And like, if you're doing it not in the empowerment studio, you don't have to still do it entirely alone, right? You could build community around you, but please do that, because all of us deserve safe community where you can show up and practice visibility and practice joy and do it where it feels nourishing before you go out into the world, which is hard mode. Okay. Here are some things I see that get in people's way. And I love this picture. First of all, Lynn, you are amazing. Clearly, Lynn has climbed to the top of a mountain. Victory pose here, right? If you love this picture as much as I do, would you just drop some I don't know, some muscle strength arms in the chat, or some happy emojis? Yes. Okay. Y'all are with me. You're vibing with me. Here's the deal. Okay, so here are some problems. You got to get honest with yourself. Ooh, that was fun. There were so many party emojis that a big party emoji exploded all over the screen. I liked that. Okay, so you got to get honest with yourself here, right? Because you can be like, oh, cool. Like, I'm going to do this work on my own. I've got it this time, right? And just some gentle love here. Are you? Like, how has it been going for you is my question, right? Is it going well on your own? Are you doing it well? Maybe yes. But a lot of people, and myself included, I've been here. I've been like, okay, this is the time for real that I'm going to stretch my body every single day. In fact, in my mom group, everyone's like, today I'm starting my streak again. And it like keeps, because we need some systems of support around us, right? So don't keep doing what's not been working. If you are trying to make this shift happen in your life over and over again, try something else. It might be time to call in some additional support. And on the note of support and community, I just want to give you permission. You are allowed to sign up to be in community with people. It's not cheating. It's not taking the easy way out. You can choose to opt into community that already exists, that is welcoming you in. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. And so all of this work that we do in the Empowerment Studio, that I'm seeing it be so beneficial for people to do over and over and over again, and in community, is exactly why I created the Empowerment Experience with my team. The Empowerment Experience is a 6-month journey of taking up space, of reconnecting with yourself, and fully stepping into your power. And not only do those things happen, but you're doing it with support. There's structure, there's a community, you are connecting with awesome humans. Y'all who've been in the Empowerment Experience before, sound off in the chat if you're like, yes, this stuff happens. You really get to connect both with yourself and with each other. And we don't just talk about this stuff, right? This is not just like, oh, hey, let's do it. Like, whatever. Okay, sure. We are implementing, right? We are experiencing these shifts, and it's a 6-month group program. So this stuff is happening little by little in incremental shifts. In fact, there was a quote that I should have written down. There was someone who wrote in about the Empowerment Experience. One of the things that they said was, I thought I was going to experience a lot quicker, more radical shifts, but instead I'm noticing the changes are really incremental. Bit by bit, little things are shifting. I see that the changes are still happening. They're not as fast as I thought they were going to be. And I think there's actually like a lot of power in that, because that's like a sustainable incremental shifting that happens. And the nice thing is, not only are you connecting with yourself, connecting with each other, stepping into your power, strengthening these muscles, but you also get to create beautiful photos that you are going to have forever. These photos, first of all, are gorgeous, right? You get to have the most beautiful pictures of yourself that you've ever seen. And these photos get to act as a touch point to connect yourself back into those feelings that you felt in this 6-month journey, so that you can have access to those feelings again and again and again. Libby shared just now, I've been doing it on my own for decades, and I didn't get as far as I'd have liked. That's the thing, right? Like, if this were simple, we would have done it already. This is not simple work here. It's not like, oh, I'm just gonna do it, right? Like, this is actually stuff that's pretty big, that's tricky. And so to do it in a system that is there to help you do it is really, really cool. Libby said, we live it together. Yes, we live it together. Yeah, I fell in love with everyone who's in our last session of EE, and I'm still cheering for them all. Y'all, it's been so cute. Like people have these wins, or they come in for another photo shoot, or for a mini session, or they get a new job, or they get one person had been trying to get pregnant the whole time and they ended up getting pregnant right at the end. And it's just like, all of these moments have been happening where it's like, oh my gosh, I care so much about these people. Like, we did this thing together. It's really, really special. Oh, one person who was in the Empowerment Experience with us said, I was so surprised at how kind and supportive and loving and accepting everyone was. I didn't feel like I deserved that, but it didn't matter. Everyone was just so generous with each other. And what's special to me, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but what I saw happen is that you started to feel more and more and more like you did deserve it. It felt to me like you started to, it was kind of like this like reciprocal, like a symbiotic relationship where they're like, you deserve it. And you're like, do I deserve it? And they're like, you deserve it. Okay, maybe I deserve it. You deserve it. Okay, I deserve it. And it's like this thing that builds, because we have this like really loving, generous mirror held up to us that's just like so loving, not only in community, but then in my camera, right? Like, all of these different points from every single angle is just nourishing you and supporting you and believing in you and affirming you. And it's like, how are you not gonna blossom in that context, right? Okay, she said that's definitely true, Kinzie. this is the other thing, like we've gotten to know each other so well, like how many different calls and conversations and your selfies and like photo shoot planning and then doing a photo shoot together and all of this. By the end of these 6 months, like we're tight. You're stuck with me. I'm stuck with you. I choose that. It's so lovely. Oh, wait, I had one other thing to say. I was going to say, it's so easy to get distracted if you don't have this kind of support. The empowerment experience is so supportive at like creating an anchor point to come back to. And listen, I am feeling this so hard. I don't know for other Kansas City parents, we have had like 9,000 snow days in a row again after having a whole bunch in January. And it's like, I feel a little bit untethered, right? There's just so much going on. And here's the really cool thing about the empowerment experience is like when you get derailed, because it's going to happen. That's what life is. Life is going to throw its stuff at you. But that derailing doesn't have to take you forever to then come back to yourself, right? I was in a group program with my coach, Steph, and I remember there was like a stretch when my kid was sick and then this happened and then this happened and then this. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to take me like years to come back to. And then you know what I did? I went to an event. We had like group coaching on that upcoming Tuesday and having that conversation in that space, getting reconnected with the work and what I was doing. I was like, okay, cool, I'm back. It's amazing. We actually had someone who had huge life transitions. They lost their job and then got a new job, and then they almost lost their apartment, but then they were able to stay in their apartment, all of that. And they actually had like a kind of wibbledy-wobbledy experience of like being present in the empowerment experience. But it was great because it's over the course of 6 months. So you don't actually have to be like there every single day. That's the whole point of it being over a longer stretch of time. And the really beautiful thing is they just would like pop back in and be like, hello, I'm here again. And I'm working generously with myself to not have guilt for disappearing. And wow, it's so amazing to be back. And then they'd be like, oh, actually, I'm here. Cool. So it's really beautiful. The empowerment experience also is just like a thing that can pull you back in. So what if we just did it on easier mode? What if we had support? What if we didn't have to do things the hardest possible way? Okay, I love this. So first of all, this picture right here is me and Kristen. Kristen was in our first round of the empowerment experience also. This was during one of our group photo shoot days, where everyone comes to the studio all together, and I photograph you one at a time. And the great thing is you're photographed individually. You can opt into having like a cheering section, hanging out in the other room, cheering for you. You can also opt to have your session be totally, totally private and have everyone all the way upstairs at the studio. So you get to feel just 120% present, just me and you. Or we actually had someone in our last round say, hey, would it be possible for the people to be on the same floor as me, but just over in the other space? They asked for that. And then everyone was like, of course, yeah, totally. And it was like the coolest thing to see them get this like in-between version that they came up with, come to life. So anyway, this is a picture of Kristen during a group photo shoot. But then this quote is actually from someone who has already enrolled in this next round of the empowerment experience. And I loved it so much. He actually messaged me and he goes, Kinzie, I've just got to tell you, I am so, so glad I signed up for the empowerment experience. He was like, he was pretty on the fence and nervous about making the investment, which is totally, totally reasonable. But he like really put a lot of thought into it and decided to enroll in our like early bird enrollment period back in November, December. But he messaged me and he's like, I am more and more glad every single day that I decided to join. He said, this is no time to have halting self-confidence as attacks on trans personhood come from the highest office. It's also the year of the snake, and wow, is my old skin just sliding right off of me. I can't wait for what's in store to build a sense of community with you and other sparkling beings. This person gets it already, and we haven't even started yet. If you would like to come be part of this vibe with us and be a sparkly human with this sparkly human, I would love to have you. Okay, so y'all know, many of you probably know, that boudoir photography in the Empowerment Studio is our jam. This is what I've been doing for 12 years, right? I think that at this point, I don't know, they say 10,000 hours makes you an expert. I'd actually be kind of curious to go in and figure out, because I know my stuff. This is where I thrive. I am so good at connecting one-on-one with whoever is in front of me, and I see the most beautiful version of them, and I'm able to put that into a photo, and then I am able to reflect that back to you so that you can see through loving eyes what it is that I see in you, right? If you have done a photo shoot in the Empowerment Studio, I would love it if you would drop some reactions or some emojis, or if you have one coming up, maybe you could shout about that. How fun. Ooh, okay, everyone whose name I'm seeing so far, how fun. This is great. Most of those people have had 2 sessions at least, and several of y'all were in the Empowerment Experience first round, which is so fun. Yay, yay, yay. Yeah, early May. Oh, I cannot wait. And yes, in less than 2 weeks, we have some really upcoming sessions. How fun is that to have something juicy and wonderful and magical to look forward to? Yeah, cool, cool, cool. So then in addition to this, we also do community really, really well. We do online events just super magically, in my humble opinion. We do group photo shoots, rock star level. They're so fun. They're like a whole different experience than having your one-on-one photo shoot, and they're also awesome. We even have events, right? We've done concerts and just different events over the years that we call Togetherness Time. Well, what we did is we smushed it all together into the Empowerment Experience. There's Libby looking like a super babe, by the way. Okay, so the Empowerment Experience is a playground to practice joy and connection and taking up space. And here's the thing. We do the GROW method in the Empowerment Experience over and over and over. You get to connect with yourself, figure out who you are, get really grounded. There's so much joy, so much togetherness. You get to own your identity. You get to show up and take up space. And then you get to feel really, really beautifully seen. So here's the deal. Doing a photo shoot in the Empowerment Studio, you get to do the GROW method with us. We take you through every single step of that process. What I meant to say here is doing the Empowerment Experience with the Empowerment Studio. You get to do the GROW method over and over again with beautiful mirrors reflecting your growth and magic back at you. The photo shoot is an incredible step on your journey. Doing community, doing the Empowerment Experience, doing 6 months, one after another, it takes it to another level. Remember, you don't have to do this work alone. So here's what you get when you do the Empowerment Experience, when you get this combination of photo shoot and community. You get an enhanced ease, presence, and a profound self-awareness. And let me tell you, there's 4 different points here. I remember writing these for our website before the first round of the Empowerment Experience. And I remember thinking, I think we can do it, but these are some pretty big promises. Like, what if I'm promising too much? And then it was like this and even more, like more than I can really put into words. Libby said, truly the practice of coming back over and over again for 6 months really establishes a habit that makes growing so natural feeling. You also get an epic dream photo shoot that we envision and create together. This is a really cool thing. The photo shoots as part of the Empowerment Experience you can do like a regular boudoir session, but we kind of, because we've been co-creating and getting to know each other over the course of months leading up to your photo shoot, there's so much collaboration and planning that we end up doing kind of like even more than just the photo shoot. Even if you think you're just coming in for a basic boudoir session. I had one client as part of the empowerment experience who was like, I actually just want to do a basic boudoir session. And I said, totally cool. But then as we were going through her outfits, we couldn't narrow it down fully. And we realized that the 6 outfits we had out, we usually do 3 as part of a boudoir session. We realized that the 6 outfits we had out were all the rainbow colors. And I was like, we have to just do all of this. And because it's the empowerment experience, we were able to. So we really take it to another level. I just had an inquiry call for the empowerment experience with someone who's like super gender fluid and magical. And they said that for this session, they really wanted to explore their more mask side. And they had this like lumberjack vision. And I was like, we could go to a forest. You could wear your Carhartts and we can bring an axe. And they're like, yeah, but I kind of want it to be like fairy magic. And I was like, then let's bring some smoke bombs and some cool twinkle lights. And I just like had this entire vision that just like appeared. And then after that, our vision is that we will then also go to the empowerment studio where they will wear their like very fitted suit. How awesome is that? Fairy lumberjack. Yes. Like, obviously this needs to happen. And this is what's possible in the empowerment experience because we really get to take it to the next level. And then not only do you have this photo shoot experience, but you get to keep forever these stunning photos of yourself that reflect not only who you are, but who you are becoming. This is, I don't understand it. I don't know where this skill set came from, but it is a superpower of mine that I am able to see your evolution and somehow capture that in a photo so that then you have these photos as a North Star to look ahead, to see, to envision, to work towards, and you get to evolve and become. And over time, it's the coolest thing because you see these photos and some of them you're like, oh yeah, I really resonate with this one right now, or like these here are totally my jam. And others are like maybe not your favorite image, or maybe you don't connect with them as much. But then in 6 months, you're going to go back to them and you're going to see them and be like, oh, holy cow, this is me now. Like I really resonate with this image now. Or 3 years later, you're going to be like, I didn't like this picture before, and it's my favorite image from the entire session. What the heck, right? It's the coolest thing. There's like a superpower in the photos themselves. And then, in addition to all of this, coming out of these 6 months, you have a community of humans who have witnessed your growth and will always be in your corner and will always be a part of your story. I really love the empowerment experience. I hope that's clear. I mean, I really believe in it and I really love it. And I can't wait to do more of it. So if this is intriguing to you, I'm going to get into like the details so that you can see what's up. We're going to talk about the logistics of it, and we're going to talk about the pricing, and we're going to talk about payment plans and all of the things. So we're just going to deep dive in here. What is included? So obviously, we've already talked about this epic dream photo shoot. You get a full-length solo session. You get all of the final digitals from your photo shoot. You also get a bonus, like sneaky price list of products that are reduced exclusively for empowerment experience folks. So if you want to get printed products, you can as well, and it's at a super discount. You get your 6 months of community and support, build all these connections. We have an online space together that is not on Facebook. It's not on any Meta platform whatsoever. It's kind of nice. I think sometimes it's funny because now everyone's leaving Facebook and I'm like, this is great that it's somewhere else. Sometimes it's hard to like learn a new platform, but actually part of what we do in the early parts of it is guide you in setting up your notifications and helping you get into the habit of checking. We have empowerment circles. These are live group calls on Google Meet, kind of like this, except we all have our video on, and each person gets a chance one at a time to be in the spotlight. And you can bring, something that you're puzzling through, trying to figure out, right? You can bring that to the group, or we can dream about your photo shoot together out loud. And you can set your goals and your intentions for the time in the container. And it's great because we've got one early on. So you get to dream about what you want to accomplish or how you want the empowerment experience to feel. We have one partway through where you can get re-anchored and connected back to what it is that you were wanting to do and kind of have that renewed sense of commitment and intention around what you want. And then we have one towards the end, which gives us a chance to witness, to reflect, and notice the beautiful growth that's been happening. We also, this is a huge part of the program, we do weekly selfies. And actually this next time around, we've got some exciting stuff up our sleeve that we didn't do in the last round to help you get practiced at taking selfies early on in the program. So if you are not already a selfie taker, this is how we will support you in getting more comfortable with taking selfies so that when you are taking them each week throughout the whole program, you're already feeling more comfortable. It's in this cozy small group of just other empowerment experience folks. You post them, you can get compliments, you give compliments. And in addition to that, you get a tangible record of your evolution in the program. You also get to participate in a monthly group activity. These are, first of all, just really fun. This is the Revel part of the Grow, right? This is where we get together and we do fun and sometimes even silly events together. One of my favorite ones, and I think this was true for a lot of people, was called Dessert and Show and Tell. We literally all got together and we were all eating dessert at the same time, except I was eating lasagna because I'm kind of a weirdo. And we all showed each other things from our homes and it was so cute. It was really fun. Other times it's, a group photo shoot experience. We do vision boarding together early on in the experience. So there's a lot of different ways that we hang out. This builds community and we also just get to have some joy. It's pretty cool. Empowerment tools. So this is a growing library. There's currently our selfie course in there that has tons and tons and tons of little bite-sized videos about anything you want to learn about how to get better at selfies. But we're also super neurodivergent friendly. And so if we're discovering that someone's having some sort of trouble, David, for example, ran off and created a dice rolling magical printout, and you put in the chores that you are struggling with doing, and you put in some creative ways to do them, and then you roll dice, and then ta-da, you have a fun, neurodivergent friendly way to get some things done, right? Lots of different stuff. We create the things for you as we go along. And then we have multiple photo shoot experiences throughout. Early on, we have a selfie session with me. We're going to do selfie session together at the Empowerment Studio. And if you cannot come in and be in person for that, we can actually do a remote selfie session where I use my computer and you use your phone. I am able to connect the two because of the internet. And I can actually take pictures through your phone and guide you through in taking selfies. So that's really cool. And then we also have our group empowerment party at the very end, where everyone gets individual photo shoots. The cool thing is we're in person at the Empowerment Studio together. And it's with these people that you've been doing this work with over the course of 5 months previous to this. And you're like, oh my gosh, I've seen these people grow. I've seen their journeys, and now I get to celebrate them and see them flourish in a photo shoot. So that's the empowerment experience, y'all. By the end of it, your mileage may vary, but here are some examples of some things that you might experience. You will embrace your unique journey, step into your power, own your visibility, actually enjoy taking up space. Tell me if any of these specifically are resonating for you. Redefine your relationship with community, and self-expression, connect deeper with yourself, feel more confident taking up space, celebrate all the amazing things you've discovered along the way. Here's the really cool thing, y'all. That list of things was inspired by individual people in our last round of the empowerment experience. Yes, all of the things. I love it. Okay, so we're going to talk about pricing now. I am a numbers person. I'm a budget person. I love to just be upfront. I can't stand it when people are like, oh, you have to have a call with me to find out how much it costs. No, we're going to talk about it right now. It's also on the website, okay? But here's the deal. If you want to come in and do a regular boudoir session in the Empowerment Studio, you will be paying $290 session fee. And in addition to that, you will get a la carte products or collections. Our most popular collection, I'd say like 90% of people end up with this here, is $3,900. So all told, that's an investment of $4,190. Now, what that includes, you get a consultation before your session, where we get to we plan out and we talk about bonuses and all of the things. In addition to that, that's kind of early on when you first book, but in addition to that, you also fill out a questionnaire, and that helps you and me plan your session together. You get professional hair and makeup. You get a 90-minute photo shoot in the Empowerment Studio where you get to grow, right? All of this work is happening even just in a regular boudoir session. You get your celebration session, which is where you are seeing your photos for the first time. This is part of the witnessing part. I reflect back to you. I'm there with you as you are seeing your pictures. And if you get this most popular collection, you also get your full set of digitals and a mobile app. So all of that is $4,190. The empowerment experience includes all of that. That's just right here in this one line item, Epic Dream Photo Shoot. All of this stuff on this previous page is included in the empowerment experience. In addition to that, you have your 6 months of online community and the support connection, okay? You have weekly guided selfie prompts. You have your monthly activity. You have access to all of these different content things. And then you also get photographed other times throughout, okay? We have some discount options for you because I love a discount. There is a pay in full discount where you can save 10% off. I will get back to that one in just a little bit. There's also an 8-month payment plan available. So you can do 8 monthly payments of $750, okay? So this is a total of $6,000 compared to the almost 4,200 here, right? I will mention, and I'm not gonna get too far into it because I just wanna be simple and clear here, but we do have a community tier. I'll chat more about that soon. And there are scholarships available. So if this financial investment is just completely out of reach to you, please still reach out to me and let's talk because there are other options here, okay? But this is the empowerment experience option here. Now, y'all are here with me live. Y'all are here watching the replay live. If you join our program by Tuesday, February 25th, which is, if you're watching live with me now, it's Thursday. If you're watching the replay, it's at the earliest, it's Friday, right? So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. You've got 5 days, okay? If you join us by the end of those 5 days, you get an additional bonus mini session anytime between now and March 31st. Okay, now listen, my coach recommends doing a 24-hour fast action bonus. My coach is like, do it quick so people take action. But my people in the Empowerment Studio are thinkers, are budgeters, and I want to have you have a chance to go and look at your budget and look at your intentions and look at your goals and check in with yourself and see if this is something that you really want to do. And I want you to have some time to sit with it and some time to think about it. So that means you have until Tuesday. If you need even more time than that, or you need to chat with me, I will also honor this bonus mini session as long as you have a call booked with me before, like have the call scheduled on the calendar before Tuesday, even if the call is like on Thursday or something like that. But at least book your call or book in with me. And then I get to photograph you a whole bonus time. And that's like right now, like you literally could come in, like if you book tonight, you could literally come in and do a session with me on Monday. Like how cool is that? I love it. Also, I will mention, I was also going to have a fast action bonus about like an extended payment plan. I was going to be like, oh, and if you book by Saturday, then you can do an extended payment plan and have more months or whatever. But I will always do that anyway because I love getting creative with y'all about payment plans. And if we need to stretch it out further, or if we need to do combinations of, you know, in-house empowerment studio plan combined with some 0% interest financing plan, blah, blah, blah. I am on your team and I will work with you because fuck capitalism. It sucks. It's hard out there for all of us. I want to work with you and I don't want, you know, only being able to do an 8-month payment plan to be the reason that you're not able to do this thing that is so aligned and dreamy for you. Okay. So let's get creative together. This is another version of community. Let's get creative. Let's work together. Let's dream something up. Yes, Libby said we don't gatekeep extended payment plans. And listen, like I'm serious, we get so creative with it together. Okay. Okay, I'm seeing that we are at the end of our time here. I am going to keep going. If you do need to go, I understand. And I think I probably have about 3 more minutes of slides here, and then we're going to get into some FAQs. So if you want to stick around, I would love to have you, but totally understand. I want to be honoring of your time. That's something that we're very, that we really prioritize in empowerment experience events anyway. It's like our events are from 7 to 8 p.m. on Google Meet, right? Or 7 to 8:30. And we do our best to sign off as quick and close to that as possible because we want to honor your time and we're grateful you come to hang out with us. Anyway, pay in full bonus. So if you pay in full, and you can do that with financing on your own terms, right? You can like do PayPal credit, and that gives you 6 months to pay it off with 0% interest. You can pay through Affirm, which has up to 36 months of payment plan. I think that is with some interest though. But you can do your own, you know, open up a new credit card offer and it has 36 months of no interest. Great. If you use that to pay in full, you get a 10% discount. So that gets you $600 off. That is a total price of $5,400. So I'm not gonna give away any names or anything, but I do just want to share some very specific client stories, the empowerment experience effect. A lot of these initials have been changed, but N went from burnout to embodied self-expression. They actually came in being like, I can't do anything. I'm exhausted all the time. I'm not really able to hang out with friends like I want to, all these things. And through the program, they reconnected with community and in their own body. And I saw their connection with their body just absolutely blossom. Let's call this person K. They came in just real nervous about being seen and pretty nervous to be in a group context, but they trusted themselves that they were doing the right thing, that they knew they were there for some sort of reason. And I witnessed the most cool, empowering, beautiful transformation where partway through, she even had this moment of reflecting back to us, I actually want to be seen right now. Whoa! Wow, empowerment experience. You're powerful. F was craving community. And we were like, hey, you actually are a community builder. And they're like, nah, that's not true. They're like, I'm too neurodivergent to be leading community. And then they ended up creating like neurodivergent, sensory friendly gatherings pretty recently. And all of this has come from these connections and empowerment that has happened throughout the time. R came in just being like, I am stuck. I can't do anything. And they, step by step, blossomed into radical self-acceptance and commitment to self. It's pretty cool. So I do have some frequently asked questions here. I can go through all of these, but I'm curious if anyone here watching has any questions. Please drop those in the chats. I will prioritize those as well. In the meantime, I will go ahead and start answering some of these. What if I live far away? So that's a great question. Actually, last round of the empowerment experience, we had, I think it was like a 50-50 split of people who were in Kansas City and people who had to travel in if they wanted to be in person at the empowerment studio. Most of our events are online. All our togetherness times, our empowerment circles, our online group space is all stuff that you can do from anywhere. I will say that for your big full photo shoot, I would encourage you to plan to travel in to Kansas City for that photo shoot. Now, we will have a group empowerment party where people are going to be coming in to all be photographed at the same time. That usually happens in the last like month or two of the photo shoot or of the empowerment experience. So if you want to, you can, we actually had one client who did this. She was able to come into town for the empowerment party, and then we were able to do her session the next day. So she only had to travel in one time for those two photo shoot experiences. Now, this person is amazing and does not seem to mind a little bit of a drive, and just kind of spontaneously decided to come in for some of the other events too, which I always loved. Like, it was my favorite to be like, oh my gosh, you are here. You live in Nebraska. How come you are here? This is awesome. Like, let's do vision boarding together in person. So some of our events, we do host like a hybrid. The vision board, we had some people join us at the empowerment studio, and then Libby actually hosted the online version, and we had the same playlist in both places, and I like let us in some deep breaths early. If you cannot come in at all for a photo shoot, you can actually pay my travel expenses and I will come do your big full photo shoot where you are. So that's also an option. If you are not a traveler, or you do not drive, or you have some vision of you want your big full session to happen like in your own space, that all is totally fine. I can come to you. And if for like the selfie session or the empowerment party, if you are not able to travel in for one or the other of those, we can do this remote photo shoot option, which is, it's nuts to me, the photos that we created in the first round of the empowerment experience. So like in the remote session. So that was pretty cool. Let's make some more remote magic this year, eh? Okay. When will your session take place? So the intention is that early on, actually before the empowerment experience starts, you are actually going to go ahead and get your full photo shoot booked. And we are going to intend for the sessions to all be booked in like the 3rd, 4th, and 5th months of the program. So that's June, July, August. So kind of over the summer. And you'll get to pick from all of the availability on my calendar and go ahead and schedule your session so that you can start to plan your travel if you want to. So yeah, so it's going to happen in those months, and then you'll get to see your photos within the container of the program. Okay, what if you don't want to do boudoir? So okay, I have 2 answers to this. One, we can photograph you in anything you want. If you want to show up in a ball gown, if you want to show up in a tux, if you want to show up in a fun party dress, like whatever you want to be photographed in, I can photograph you in. But to me, also, boudoir does not necessarily mean lingerie. To me, boudoir is all about the connection that you and I have together, how much I see you, and how I put that into photos. You can be wearing lingerie. You could be wearing nothing at all. You could be wearing a sweater and jeans and cozy clothes. It's all boudoir to me, baby. All right. This one's so important. What if I really, really, really want to do this, but even with a payment plan, the monthly amount is too much? Okay. We already talked about extended payment plans, creative payment plans. We can figure out a whole lot if we just have a conversation about it. That said, I know that $6,000 is just not in the cards for everyone here. So we actually realized that the empowerment experience is a really cool whole comprehensive program, right? You have all of these different parts, the photo shoot, the community, the online events, the selfies, and da-da-da. We thought, okay, if we take this photo shoot out, what do we still have here? We're like, oh, all the rest of this is pretty incredible. You still get photographed multiple times, right? You still get the selfies, community, group activities, connection time, growth work. So we've created the community tier. And that community tier is $3,000 total. We also have sliding scale and scholarships available for that. So if that's something that you're interested in, reach out to me. We can chat and see if that would be a good fit for you. Do I have to share photos from my sessions? No, you absolutely do not. I have a couple people in the program who have kept their photos extremely private, and of course we've honored that. We've had some people in the program who've been like, please blast my photos everywhere. I want to be famous for my butt. And so obviously those ones we are so proud to show off, and we'll post them in like our Facebook group and do compliment parties. We'll share them to stories and those sorts of things. People do seem to really enjoy having people like see their pictures and give them compliments and all of that. But you can keep your photos 120% private, and we honor that. You're never pressured otherwise to do anything different. We, like I said earlier, really value consent and privacy. Famous for my butt is a vibe. You know, I talk about when people are signing up for payment plans in the Empowerment Studio, whether it's for a full boudoir session or for the empowerment experience, people will say, so it's like all payments are final, no refunds are available. And I say partially that's because of the legal side of things and I have to pay taxes as the stuff comes in. But partially it's because I'm like, no, I know that you are doing this because you really want to commit to it. So this is kind of like how you put money into a retirement account where you know what's going in and you know you can't pull it back out. Like, it's a retirement account, but for your butt. I've said that so many times, and every single time I'm like, oh, Kinzie, you're such a weirdo. But I seem to find my people and y'all keep me around. So I'm here for that. Last question here, unless anyone has any questions for me otherwise, let me know. What if I'm not photogenic? Are you really sure I can do this? Listen, I've had a lot of people tell me they are not photogenic, and I've proved them all wrong. I've never had a client who I've been like, oh, I can't make a great picture of them. Like, every single client, I don't know. It's like two things. One, every client is beautiful. I see it, even if you don't. And that's okay. You don't have to, but I do. And so I see it. And so I want to show that to you. But also, I am an expert at posing and lights and helping you figure out your lingerie and setting the tone for the energy of the session. And all of these pieces and parts together, you're gonna look like your best self and you're gonna radiate with your own magic. Okay, friends, I'm curious. We're going to get going here in just a moment, but I am curious if anyone would share a biggest takeaway. What was your experience of being here? My client today proudly proclaimed that she's not a words of affirmation person, which I thought was very funny because I was like, well, you've hired me twice now, so I guess you knew what you're getting yourself into. But I am a words of affirmation person, and I would love to hear what landed for you out of all of this, and if anything really stood out to you, what your big takeaways are, or even if you just had a good time and you're glad you joined us. And I will say, I just want to make this very clear. There are a lot of ways to make progress on your body love journey and on your connection to self, this grow work, right? No matter where you are doing great. Whether you choose to work with us or not, we still love you, and please keep hanging out with us. You're going to do amazingly. You're going to grow. If you choose to do it with us, I'm so honored to have you join us and honored to be your guide. My coach referred to me once. She's like, you're kind of like a cute little explorer guide with like a cute little explorer hat. I was like, that's kind of accurate. But we are here as you continue to take strides towards a more bold, empowered version of yourself. Life is such a wild ride. So I'm just really honored that you chose to spend time with us here in the Empowerment Studio tonight. Oh, Kinzie, I want to do this again. I want you to do it again too. Obviously, listen, I'm gonna let you make your own decisions here, but I'm here to chat about it with you if you would like to. I really, really, really think I was talking about it with Libby, and we're both like, oh, you're just getting going. There's so much more ahead of you, so much more grow work happening here. You're ready, you're primed. I would be super honored to have you again. I really, really would. Oh, let's see. Libby says I have a full page of notes. So, yeah, okay. This reminded me all over again of why I'm so excited to work with you and why I'm so happy to have found the pop-up group and the community you hold space for. Yes, yes, yes. I'm really excited for these sessions coming up. This is going to be really, really special. I'm pumped. I'm honored. What a gift. You're making me cry. Well, listen, okay, you and I have cried a lot together. we are pros at that. Tears are truth, right? So that's one of our mutual friends, Paula, says tears are truth. She's who I lead the France retreat with. Y'all listen. Okay, here's the deal. I know that the empowerment experience is an investment, but if you really want to go for it, if you really want to do like a next level investment, something you could consider doing is join the empowerment experience, do 6 months of growth work with me and in community, and then go to France with me in September. I am photographing a retreat in France with my friend Paula. It's a week-long, all expenses included, restorative serenity retreat in the south of France. There are different excursions each day. Every single one of your meals that is so like locally cooked, organic, so good is cooked for you. Wine is included. Yoga sessions each day. If you want to take this to the next level, come do that retreat as well. And then we can do your full photo shoot in France. I'm just saying, this is an idea I've had, and I'm like, I want that to happen. So I'm naming it, putting it into the universe. We'll see what happens. But that could be a kind of fun thing. Okay, my client today, receiving words of affirmation is definitely my love language. It's just something I don't get a lot of in real day-to-day life. So walking into the empowerment studio is equal parts overwhelming at first and wonderfully comforting. Thank you for helping me receive those compliments today. You did so good at it. You're so amazing. I loved our session today. I'm so excited to start editing photos. I got the idea to take the extra time I need. Yep, this is it. This is it, y'all. Y'all, thank you for joining me tonight. This was really special. I'm gonna go ahead and end the recording, but then after that, y'all who are on live, if you want to like pop on videos and we can just like wave at each other goodbye. If you are here watching the recording and you are sticking it out all the way to the end, thank you for spending your time with us. Please send me a message and let me know what you thought. I would love to connect with you. Whether or not you want to join the empowerment experience, just to know that we got to share this time together is really special. All right, my friends, happy Empowerment Studio magic time.